Welcome to this week's episode of the Rockin' Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Nick, as you tune in every week. This week's episode, we've got a great guest. We've got Adam Thornstowe from the Tag Team Reno Scum. He's been in the professional wrestling business since 2001, so he's a veteran of the business. We talked numerous topics, his time now with Impact Wrestling, how he got into the business. He's a big punk rock fan, so we talked a little bit about punk rock, some of his killer tattoos, and just overall good guy. So I can't wait for you guys to hear that. Want to put a bow on last week's episode before I move on to this week's interview. A lot of great feedback on the Flip Gordon interview. Flip's a great dude. We talked a lot of curious topics about, getting people to think about, milk before cereal, flat earth, everything like that. So Flip's a really, really good dude. Look for him on Ring of Honor. Look for him to really make a splash, hopefully in the WWE one day. I think he's going to be a big star. Thanks again to those guys, everyone that did the watch-along with the Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock match. We're going to do another watch-along here at the end of the episode after the Adam interview with what I think is the greatest, not only WrestleMania match, but greatest match of all time with The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I'll get a little precursor to why I think that when we do the watch-along. But first, before we get into the interview, the last two nights have been obviously SmackDown Live. It's been Monday Night Raw. We're full force ahead to WrestleMania season, which is my favorite time of the year. I'm super pumped for the card here when we're just about a week from this Sunday is WrestleMania. I'm super pumped about it. But I was trying something different, live tweeting, interacting with some of you guys out there, and I know I'm going to give out some shout-outs to a couple of people that I interacted with, really cool dudes, and kind of grow that wrestling community and grow people listening to this podcast. But first, I want to just precurse that once again, I appreciate everyone that gave me some feedback, all the new followers I'm getting on social media. Close to about 600 followers now, really grown in the last couple of weeks with the last few episodes. If you haven't heard any of the episodes and this is your first time listening, go back into the archives. They're all there on iTunes. They're all there on SoundCloud. They're all up on YouTube. Go back and listen to those. Some great interviews. Obviously, last week with Flip Gordon, Norman Skinner from the band Deviant. Also, Sir Samurai was the first guest I ever had. So a lot of good stuff. Go check out those archives and familiarize yourself if this is your first episode you're listening to. So first, I want to give out a couple shout-outs of people I was talking to mainly during SmackDown Live last night and Monday Night Raw. Give them some shout-outs. Definitely go follow them, help them out, grow their followers on Twitter. My first shout-out is it's Spenny, SPENNY, love _WCS. Good guy right there. At Mike Zetch, so MikeZech, at Danny J Pond, Danny DANY JPOND, Fact Free Media, I hope everyone's educated and can spell that. Shouldn't be that too hard. O Wrestling 316, and gonna give another shout out to one of my podcast buds out there, podcast_UF. They are an exclusive NXT podcast. They recap NXT. They talk about takeovers. Really cool concept. Go give them a listen. They're all on the platforms of iTunes and such. So definitely go check them out. Really good podcast that they run over there. Next, I said if you bought a shirt that I would give you a shout out. So here's a couple shout outs. First, I got to give a shout out to obviously my girlfriend's mother, Tina Edwards. She bought several t-shirts. Appreciate that. And then I'm going to give out a shout out to my main man, Jeffrey McLean, buying a shirt. My man right here in Orangeville in the 95662. That's right. Jeff's a good friend of mine. Known him for a lot of years. He's what you would say one funny motherfucker. I'm going to have him on the podcast here in the next couple of weeks. He's got this unique-ass talent to do remixes of songs, and obviously this is the Rock and Wrestling Podcast, so we'll give him a chance to do remixes. My favorite is he does a remix of Green Day's Time of Your Life. If you got kids around when he does that, you want to maybe give them a little earmuff because it's going to be a little inappropriate, but it's funny as shit. Also does Eddie Money stuff too. It's fucking hilarious. So that's my big man, Big Jeffrey McLean. Give me a shout out there. Thanks for buying a shirt. And speaking of buying a shirt, if you haven't done so, why not? Help a brother out. Help support the podcast. Buy a shirt. You go over to prowrestlingtees.com/the Rock and Wrestling Podcast store. Buy you a shirt. I get a lot of people going, hey, man, you're going to be in New Orleans for WrestleMania? I can't. But you know how you can help me get there for next year in New York? Buy a fucking shirt, man. You got unisex. So you ladies out there that listen, or you guys, you got a lady, get her one of those. You got long sleeve, you got tank top. I got myself a long sleeve and a tank top. It's about that time for summer, so you want those guns out there, man. You're going to be flexing on guys. So get yourself the official Rock and Wrestling Podcast gear over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Make sure also you give me a follow on social media. The Twitter, Nick's R&W Podcast is the Twitter handle. On Facebook, Nick's Rock and Wrestling Podcast. The YouTube channel, Nick's Rock and Wrestling Podcast. And the Gmail, rockandwrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. All beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Make sure you follow me. I'm close to about 600 followers now, really grown here in the last couple of weeks. So let's make a goal here. If I can get to 1,000 followers on the Twitter for the podcast before WrestleMania ends. So WrestleMania is a week from this Sunday. When WrestleMania goes off the air, help spread the word. See if we can't get the podcast up to 1,000 followers. And if we do that, maybe I'll post a little bonus content or bonus episode over on the YouTube channel. So help a brother out. So I want to give you on the next little tidbit here is today we got Adam Thornstowe interview. Next week will be my official WrestleMania preview show. I got a couple of buddies. We're going to do a round table and go through the matches and discuss what we think will happen. The following week after that, we're going to change it up. Been doing a lot of wrestling, so we're going to talk some rock and roll for a couple of weeks from the Bay Area. Patrick Donovan's going to be on from the band Toy Called God. So going to talk a little bit with him about the band. He's a phenomenal dude. Band is killer, so check them out and to prepare for the episode with Patrick here in a couple of weeks. So once again, want a preference. Get yourself a t-shirt. Help me get up to 1,000 followers by the end of WrestleMania next week. And you interact with me on Twitter during Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. I will give you a live shout-out. You buy a shirt, I'll give you a live shout-out. So, coming up shortly, Adam Thornstowe from Reno Scum. All right, I'm here with my guest, Adam Thornstowe from Reno Scum, correct?
Thornstowe.
Thornstowe.
Yeah.
Thornstowe.
It gets confused a lot, so that's cool.
Yeah, so what I always like to start with is I always like to find out how guys got into this business, and out of the guys I've interviewed so far, you are the most seasoned veteran because you started in, 2002, is it?
2001.
2001, so you've been in the business for a while. So how did you kind of get into the business? How'd you get started? All of that.
So, it's long story short. I grew up watching wrestling, and I was a skateboarder and all that. But I'd miss school events and everything just to watch wrestling, especially in high school when ECW was on TNN or Spike or whatever the hell it was on. And,
I think it was TNN at the time. Yeah.
And it was summer going into my senior year. I on public access there was backyard wrestling, and I was like, oh man, those are the friends I always wanted my entire life. So emailed them, started backyard wrestling with them. A guy named Brian Brigger, who used to do jobs for WWE, is the guy who got his feet lit on fire by Papa Shango. He saw us, and he was like, if you can get a bunch of money together, buy a ring, I'll train you guys. So that was kind of long story short, and a bunch of us did it. That's where I met Luster. We've been best friends ever since, and kind of just started from there. And then Mustafa Saeed from ECW came in probably about a year later it was a boxing gym that we were in, and he was boxing, and he was living in Reno at the time, and the wrestling school was there, and so he picked up and started training us as well.
Awesome. So yeah, Lester being your tag team partner, Reno Scum. I've tried in my research tried to find what exactly does the Scum part stand for.
Long time ago, Shane Dynasty, who wrestles as Doc Atrocity now, he's my tattoo artist and one of my best friends. He came up with Socially Corrupt Underground Militia, but it's always just really been Reno Scum. There wasn't. Some people always put the periods in there, it's supposed to mean something. But it was
just a cool name because I think that name's badass.
Yeah.
It kind of draws back from where you are, but also it's killer tag team.
Yeah, thank you.
So as with Lester being kind of your best friend, I know a lot of guys are tag team partners. They get linked up. Is it different with that he's your best friend because like you guys are always traveling together? Now at this point, you're probably like finish each other's sentences, right? Does it make a difference when you guys team together compared to this a tag team thrown together that are just two dudes?
Yeah, I think so. We just get along, and we both grew up liking tag team wrestling. Like I just really liked it as a kid. You know, Demolition Road Warriors, Rockers, Midnight Express, and on and on. And he was kind of the same way. So we both started as singles wrestlers, and I think probably about 5 or 6 years in, we were like, let's do the tag team thing. And I do think it makes it easier. Being guys who actually want to be tag team wrestlers and stuff like that. I mean, you look at the Briscoes and the Bucks and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and that's what they want to do. And it's not that they can't singles wrestle. It's not that they're not good singles wrestlers. It's just And then sometimes it works out. Like I mean, you look at up in WWE, Sheamus and Cesaro,
Just two guys,
fantastic
yeah.
singles wrestlers who are just like killing it in tag team wrestling now.
Yeah, I was really shocked when they put that angle together. I'm like, they're gonna make them a tag team. Like, how many times
Yeah,
have they done this?
it was such a great story because they started out
The
as
best of seven
yeah,
and everything.
exactly,
And I know how many times they've done that. And I'm like, again, you're just gonna throw two guys together because you got
yeah,
nothing to do. But it's worked out for them.
for
So,
sure.
so, so you got in '01. So right there at the tail end with WCW being bought out. Now that you've been in the business years and years and years, how has it, especially on the indies and different things, how has it changed from 2001 to now 2018? I mean, 17
Well,
something years later.
there's like I don't know the exact year it started, but there was a wrestling revival, where the indies it's like cool now again. It's kind of like, when I grew up watching wrestling in the real late 80s, early 90s, people kind of made fun of it. And then,
I
WC,
still get that. I still get
right.
that from my, but dude, you know that stuff's fake. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
but then, NWO came around and
Yeah.
wrestling was super cool. And then it kind of fell off around the time WCW died. And when I got into it, now it's cool again. So, as far as indie wrestling, like, excuse me, when I started, like the crowds just weren't as big, and it was just, I mean, I'm wrestling in a gym tonight, but like, I don't know, there were 30, 40 people, and
Mhm.
now there's, a couple hundred people is a bad draw for some companies, and wrestling's just cool again, and people, I mean, I'm not making a full time living off of it, but I make decent money on the indies now, and so I only work part time at the hospital now. So I just it got cool again for whatever reason. I mean, the Bucks were a big part of that, the Bullet Club, Joey Ryan, all those guys, like, the who's who of the indies and like Generico and Steen before them. And I don't know what it is, it's just it's almost like there's territories, there's not. There's just
Mhm.
really hot indies now and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm blessed to still be around and have stuck with it through those awful years.
So, what are some of the hot indies that you would say you enjoy that you can expect like a big crowd to be at?
All Pro Wrestling out here in California. Alternative Wrestling Show down in Southern California. Obviously PWG. Um, I don't know. I think it's how you promote if
Mhm.
you're not a name indie, like on the United States mainstream indie. Like if SPW promotes, they draw big
Mhm.
houses, and I think it's just when you run in a bigger city sometimes and you don't promote except bigger shows, it's like, well, nobody knows about it
Right.
because there's a million things going around. Like Luster and one of our other buddies, Steve, runs a company up in Reno, and Reno's a hard draw sometimes, 24-hour city, so you really have to promote it to fill a house. And then we run the smaller towns in Nevada, like Winnemucca, and like there's nothing to do, and
You get a ton
I
of
mean,
people
you
there.
barely promote, and there's 400 people
Mm.
there, So
Yeah, that's how I mean that's how I found SPW. They just were promoting. I was like, dude, there's wrestling like
yeah,
once a month, like and $10. Like I don't have to go to
right,
pay like upwards of $500 to go to a WB show, and I can
yeah.
be right there. So I think yeah, promotion plays a big part in it.
And I mean, saying that, like, I mean, I've been to WWE shows. Like, when I met my wife, I always tell the story. She never watched wrestling, and so she kind of got into it. And I don't know how long we've been together now, for a long time, but she always saw the big shows, and then she'd go to the indie shows. And then I finally took her to WrestleMania during that King of Indies weekend and stuff like that. And she's like, "Man, like, it's cool, but the indies are so much cooler to her because it's more intimate." I
Yeah.
mean, a big house on the indies is still, a couple thousand people, and I mean, you're just right there.
Yeah, I always make the analogy of like a band, like going to see a band in a stadium's cool, but I'd
Right.
rather see them in a club because I'm right.
Yeah,
I'm right
exactly. The best
there.
shows I've ever seen are the ones where you're like, oh man, I didn't know like this guy was playing tonight. And
Yeah.
we saw Lester and I saw Lemmy from Motorhead at some dive bar in Reno. He had a country project that I can't remember the name
Oh
of it.
yeah, was this? No, it wasn't the Stray Cats. He was doing. He was
It
doing.
was. It was.
Yeah, he was
No,
doing something
like that.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
we're like, holy shit, like Lemmy's here, and like like I mean, you were just like right up there next to him, and there was probably like 150 people there.
Well, yeah, it was. I went and saw Jericho's band on this past week. They played in San Francisco, and it was like right up front. You're like, holy shit, he's right there. They're having a good time. But then you turn around, you're like, that's the guy from Machine Head. He's here, and like, that's the guy from Quiet Riot.
Yep.
And like, I've been to a ton of shows over downtown here in Sac. Like, dude, that's the guy from Testament. Like, it's kind of cool. Like, they go to the smaller shows because they're playing fucking stadiums all the time.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm kind of sick of it.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about. I know you have been doing some stuff with Impact Wrestling, kind of on and off. So how has that been going? Because obviously, for a while, we all know that TNA kind of had that. I don't want to say stink, but it was not perceived as very compared to some of the other companies. So how do you enjoy? Because I've talked to other guys that say that it's a good place to work, but you kind of guys, Reno Scum's been doing things on and off with them.
Well, we were on. I mean, we got signed in March of 2017 to Impact. And we debuted, and then I tore my bicep, and I mean, it's just the way show business works with TV. We wound up getting our release, and we're going back next Friday on the California loop, and we'll see what comes of that. But I don't have anything bad to say about Impact. Paycheck's clear. I don't care what the dirt sheets say, and you get paid well, you get treated well. I don't think it's mismanaged. I mean,
they've started to seem a lot better in the last couple of years.
Even when Jarrett hired us before Jeff had to go to rehab and all that before we got released, like it was fine. Like I know people are like, the Global Force merger was weird, and I mean I've said it a bunch of times on like different interviews. Like wrestling fans are so weird because they beg for something different, you give them something different, and then they shit all over it because it's different, and they're never gonna be happy. And like Lester's always like, well, I mean, we've been watching Impact since we started wrestling, like back in the Asylum days. We used to get the old pay-per-views.
The old $9.99 pay-per-views, yeah.
And like even back then, people were like, Impact is going out of business, or TNA is going out of business, and like, I guess someday somebody might be right, but like that would suck, man. It's just another place taken away from the boys to make a buck, and like, I don't know why people want to crap on it.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. Well,
it's cool to crap on it when. Like, there's those kind of fans that just hate everything. I'm like, why don't you watch something else?
Yeah, I think it's the internet and kind of today. Like, there's just like, oh, I want this. Well, I got it. Now I'm going to find something else to bitch about. Yeah. Like, why don't just, it's pro wrestling. Like, just suspend your disbelief and enjoy it for what it is.
And if you don't like it, when I don't like something, I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't complain about it. I just, I don't know. I wanted to play baseball as a kid, and I wasn't very good at it, and I wasn't having very much fun, so I just stopped playing baseball.
Yeah. Don't
it wasn't
bitch about
like what I expected it would be.
Yeah. So. Don't bitch about it. Just stop. So you guys were originally signed to the Global Force Wrestling, so that was supposed to be
Impact.
Was it?
We were signed to Impact.
Were you signed to Impact when the merger happened?
We did the original Global Force tapings when Jeff had them in Vegas for Amped, and then when Jeff took over for Dixie last year, he called us, and so we were actually signed to Anthem Impact.
Oh, okay.
And then they tried to do the merger, and then stuff with Jeff happened, and kind of swept that under the rug, and now they're just Anthem Impact.
Is he pretty good dude to work for?
I love Jeff.
Yeah,
he's.
I'm glad
cool
he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad he got the help he needed, and he's always been very good to me and Lester, and I mean. You look at anybody and somebody will have something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Like you'll find somebody to have something wrong with somebody, and I mean, people don't like me. You just, nature of the business,
Yeah, you're going to.
Humans in general. Like, you can't like everybody. It'd be boring.
So who are some of the, obviously now that you guys have gone with Impact, who are some of the your favorite tag teams to work with that you've worked either indies or just over the years being in the business for so long? Who are some of your favorite opponents, whether it's tag teams, singles?
As far as mainstream, the Briscoes and the Bucks.
Because you've worked with both of those.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, we worked the Briscoes a couple years ago for Ring of Honor. Excuse me. On just one of their TV shows. Worked the Bucks a
Mhm.
couple times on the Indies. Oh shoot. We worked Cage and Elgin at the Cow Palace. And I always draw a blank on these things. Sorry. Um, yeah, I don't know. We've been very fortunate. I know I'm leaving something out, but
I mean,
I'll come
you have
back
you've
to it.
had
I'll think about it. And,
you've had a long career. I mean, there's
so yeah, there's just we worked a match in Vegas with Ricochet and Rich Swan
oh
when they
wow.
were Inner City Machine Guns. That was really good. And then last Sunday we worked OVE finally. And then next Friday we work LAX because we've never worked them one on one for Impact. So looking forward to that. And as far as like indie legends, I guess in California, we finally a couple months ago worked the Ballard Brothers down in San Francisco, and that was a lot of
Mhm.
fun. Like we've been wanting to do that for a long time.
So now that obviously you've worked with some great tag teams, I want to take back. You had a series of matches here at SPW with Jeff Cobb that
Yeah.
were just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, they were some good stuff. So, kind of, I don't know, peel back the curtain as much as you want. Kind of going behind, is it just the chemistry you two had, and you kind of planned out? Let's have a series of kick-ass matches, or was it just
It was never that. It was I think it was just we would not really just show up that day, but like I just don't think they had anything for either of us to do. So they're like, oh, you guys want to wrestle each other again, kind of thing, and it turned into this series of matches. And yeah, we had I forget what the first one was, and I mean Jeff
because
had been out here for a couple years, and like we had just never wrestled each other, and so we just clicked. I mean, we're
I mean,
buddies outside,
they were
and
good stuff, and he's blowing up right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing great things, and yeah, I don't know, it's easy to work with. People are,
they're
just good people and easy to work with.
So along with that, because were you? I want to make sure that I got that right because I was trying to do my research. The King of the Indies tournament. Did you win that
Yep,
one year?
yep. In
So for
2015.
2015, that was it. So obviously, some of my listeners may not be quite familiar with
Uh-huh.
what the King of the Indies is. What exactly is? I know obviously it's held in Vegas,
No, it's held in California.
California.
Yep,
Okay,
in LA.
what it is exactly?
Uh, All Pro Wrestling put it on, Roland Alexander in like 2000 and 2001. 2001's the real big one that got all the notoriety, which had basically the who's who now. Like Smojo was in it. I think AJ Styles was in it, but Christopher Daniels, Brian Danielson, Low Key.
Pretty much a who's who
Yeah, all
of
those guys were in it. I can't remember if Danielson or Low Key won it. And it was kind of that like birth of what indie wrestling is now. It was just that hybrid style. Doug Williams was in it, so there was all these clash of styles, but just phenomenal wrestlers. And then it just went away for 14 years. They never did it again. And then during WrestleMania weekend, All Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Revolution and WWN brought it back. And I I'm not shitting on it. It was more of a King of California tournament because there was a lot of Northern California and Southern California, and then me and Lester from Reno, talent in it. And yeah, it was 2 nights, and I beat Willie Mack in the finals, Tim Thatcher in the semifinals, Lester in the quarterfinals, and Eli Drake in the opening round. It was a good tournament.
good tournament, good exposure to being WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, and I mean it was part of that Evolve
He's-
WWN deal,
mm,
so all those guys were there, and yeah, it was super cool. It was a big honor. I didn't know until pretty much before going out there to wrestle Willie that was like nobody knew who was going up.
mm.
So
So along with that, obviously you said you just come back from a bicep tear. Being in the business, had that been your first major, or have you over 17 years plus
yeah,
been injured, big time injuries,
that was
being
the
in the
first
business?
like one in the ring that like something really went wrong. I remember It was me, Jeff Cobb, Carl Fredericks, and Jacob Fatu in a four-way, and the winner was going to wrestle the winner of Luster and MVP at the Cow Palace the first time they ran that. And Jacob did a big dive, and man, I think I broke my arm or something. Something
Mhm.
just wasn't right, and that was really early in the match, and it was elimination. We went another 20 minutes, and I iced it, and I got home and went to pick up my daughter, and I saw my bicep was kind of rolled up my arm. I was like, ah,
Oh shit.
shit, man. And we got MRI, and it was a full tear, and um, I opted to have surgery. So, yeah, as far as like freak accident in the ring, a couple years ago, I had my shoulder scope just to be cleaned up because it just been bothering me, but that was like a little 5-week rehab. This one, bicep injury was supposed to take 9 months to rehab. I rehabbed it in 90 days so I could be
Wow.
ready for Slammiversary, and then Impact just wound up not having anything and went a different direction, and then obviously we eventually got released, which is whatever. So it's just kind of a bummer.
Yeah, especially coming back
Yeah.
the super Cena. I'm gonna have to call you coming back from an injury
Yeah.
like that. So along with obviously with next weekend Impact doing a loop at California shows. Have they been trying to obviously uh, come more outside of their doing like the television tapings at like a studio? Have they been trying to
Um,
expand? More
Impact does
business.
a couple, like they'll partner with an indie company. Like next week, they partner with Big Time Wrestling, and they film those for Twitch, the house shows and stuff like that. So it should be broadcast on Twitch next weekend. Excuse me. And then they ran a series of house shows in like New York a little bit ago that did
Hmm.
fairly well. So I mean, I don't know the inside because I'm not
Yeah,
hired
yeah.
anymore, and I don't get the company emails like I used to. So, but they did India last year, I think right before Slammiversary, and that was huge. So, I think there's a lot of things on the bill for them to, go ahead and do. And I think the Impact show, at least next Friday that we're on, I think there's only like
Yeah,
40 tickets
it's close to
left.
being sold out,
Yeah,
which is good to see. I think that
yeah, it's
it's good for
awesome
the overall
for
wrestling
sure.
when you've got multiple big companies like that because
Yep.
ROH has been doing good business. I think
Yeah.
Impact, and then you get WWE. I think it's better for the
Yeah, I
business.
was ROH anniversary weekend in Vegas last week. They had two sold out shows, and then we ran, or not we, but the company down in Vegas ran one more show called the Mecca that piggybacked off them. But they had a lot of Impact talent, and that was sold out too at a different venue. So I think that's the way like indies and stuff should do it. You try and run a big show over the span of 3 days that draws people from out of state in. It's almost like I know PWG runs one show at a time usually, but then they have Bola weekend where
Hmm.
people come from all over, and 3 days and
Well, I mean, there's how like WrestleMania. There's how many 100+ shows besides
right,
just
yeah,
what
yeah.
WWE does. So I
The
think that's
Wrestle,
you
yeah, I'm
know
bummed. We were gonna try and go do WrestleCon as a part of the United Wrestling Network, but we have to leave for China, so the flights didn't line up to go on a quick tour of China. So kind of bummed we don't get to go do all the
well,
events out there, but
well, that's
still get to go to China.
China.
So
That's cool. So I haven't heard much about pro wrestling in China. Obviously, the Japan
yeah, there's not a
connection.
lot.
Yeah, so explain a little bit about the China connection, how that goes working over there.
So we work for Dave Marquez down at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, who is part of the United Wrestling Network, and we're his tag team champions right now. And uh, Dave has a bunch of markets that it's part of the United Wrestling Network, and China just happened to get on with it. I don't really know the
The full
internal
detail.
workings of it, but I got an email that said, "Do you want to go to China?" And I said, "Hell yeah!"
Yeah, that's
It's kind of
definitely
a
cool.
process to actually go. Like,
Well, because it like probably some governmental
yeah, we
things,
had to go down to
especially.
San Francisco to get a visa, and then we had to go back down to pick up our visa, and a little bit of pain in the ass, but I mean, it's whatever. It's
Yeah,
wrestling. It's worth
chance to
it.
work in a new
Yeah,
territory.
for sure.
So, where else outside the states have you worked besides China?
This will
The
be
first
first
time?
international tour. Yeah,
Oh wow, that's gonna be yeah, because you always hear
it'll
about
be
the
the first televised wrestling in China. I know WWE's gone there, but it was for
house shows and
yeah,
stuff.
and another company just ran there, but it wasn't for TV. So this will be for TV. So it'll be
That
cool.
that'll be definitely cool. Well, I wanted to talk to you a lot because I do some episodes are about rock and roll, some are about
Uh-huh.
wrestling. So you've got the punk rock connection. Was that always did you come into punk rock because of the watching ECW and learn about that, or were you always into the punk rock music and that
No,
kind of fell into your gimmick as well?
but old high school or middle school buddy of mine named Todd Ferguson gave me my first Misfits album because I just listened to like Iron Maiden and Metallica and stuff uh, at that time in my life, and I couldn't get enough of it. I just fell in love with it in like seventh grade. Um, I mean, I like all kinds of music, like Maiden and Metallica, and
I love Maiden.
I like a lot of hip hop, like the older stuff, like the '90s hip hop
Yeah.
station on Pandora. I love that, and gangster rap, and but yeah, I fell in love with punk rock, and then Luster was into it, and that was just
Just
kind
kind
of
of
yeah, it's not a gimmick. I mean, a little
it's
more of a gimmick now just because we're older and have families. So, I mean, just going to shows during the week because Reno's a weird city. Like, they'll do something bigger, Reno in the middle of the week, and then come to Sacramento or San Francisco or vice versa on the way back somewhere. They'll do Reno. So, going in the middle of the week's not always the easiest. And then we're wrestling pretty much every weekend now. So,
yeah.
if we don't get to as many shows, something special we'll go to for sure. But yeah, I mean, that was just our life, like when we weren't booked or if we could catch a show, we'd beg promoters, like if there's a band we wanted to see and close by, we'd be like, man, can we go on first or second and
Then
pack up our shit and get out of there and go to the show?
so who would be obviously some of your we were talking off air real quick
Yeah.
about like Rancid. Who would be kind of the big punk bands that really get
Rancid's probably I guess, if you're on an island and you can only have
one
one,
album?
right.
That's
I'd
that.
take Rancid, but the Misfits, I like a band called the Dwarves a lot. I mean, I like it all. I like poppier stuff. I like No Effects.
I was really surprised. I saw them on one of the Warped tours. I'm
Yeah,
not, like we were talking. I'm not much into punk, but I was really surprised at how good of a show those guys put on. They put on a
yeah,
really good show.
they're good. I like a little more of the rock and roll stuff, like Social Distortion and Mike Ness's solo projects. I like it all. I mean, I like Angry Black Flag stuff. I like a lot of the acoustic stuff. A lot of the guys do now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. It's just whatever mood I'm in. I travel. Sometimes Lester and I travel with some of the younger guys that like whatever today's music, and it's whatever. Like
you want to
I
listen to
don't
the
mind it, but everyone gets their rotation when they're driving. So
yeah. I'm the old soul out of everybody I hang with. I'm like, dude, let's put the Guns N' Roses on. They're like, dude,
yeah,
that band's like how old? Like, who
right,
cares? It's
yeah.
better than anything today. So, I don't. I was wanted to talk a little bit more. Obviously, you being in the business, and one of the questions I always last at is who most memorable moment that you've probably had in the business so far. I mean, you've been in it plus for 17. Most memorable moment and favorite match.
um, I guess most memorable moment was actually like getting the call to get signed to Impact, just because I was getting pretty heavy at the time. Like if you look, I'm not in as good a shape when I debut on
Mm.
Impact because I was getting ready for a powerlifting meet, and I have a hard time putting on weight. So I was sitting at McDonald's just eating, watching my kids play when Jeff called me to sign us for Impact. So it was just cool because like I always wanted to sign a contract with somebody. Like I mean, obviously like WWE, like,
Is the
that was
mecca,
always the
yeah.
dream when you start. But you're like like Impact's such a great schedule for people like Lester and I with families because you go down to Florida every month and a half or 2 months and tape 6 to 8 weeks of TV, and then you go home and you can do the indie still, but you're home. So it's nice instead of being on the road every Friday through Tuesday or whatever the Fed works, and which I mean it's still great. You make a living, and so I think yeah, it's not like some crazy moment, but like just like
Just being able to.
having Bob Ryder fax over the contract, and my wife took a video of me signing it and stuff because I remember an old video. I got to know Matt Hardy fairly well, and just an old video of him like
Signing the contract.
yeah, it's him just flipping through like, yeah. This is the line you want to sign, and it was kind of cool, Like there's just so much wording in
So,
those things.
so with signing a contract, because I'm curious about this, because being in bands, I've gotten a few where we've had to sign and
Uh-huh.
look over it, and the language is so ridiculous to understand. Is it that same way with wrestling? When you get the contract, you're like, I don't have a clue. I got to have a lawyer look this over.
Um, yes and no. I mean, obviously, yeah. There's some weird wording. I'm blessed that my cousin married a lawyer. Um, he's just a good lawyer. He works for the state of Nevada and stuff like that. So he's like, yeah, it's a pretty standard contract, and they put in it that we could still be Reno Scum, and they would own Reno Scum only for what they produced on Impact, and everything prior and post Impact would still be ours. So can't use any of the footage that we they filmed of us, but anything prior and now, like they never owned Adam Thornstowe or Lesser Legend or Reno Scum. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, there's some weird verbiage in there, but there's just a line where you write what your I guess it's intellectual property. I think yeah. So I don't know. It was pretty. I was like just jonesing to sign it, but my wife's the smart one, so she's like, yeah, let's let Josh take a look at this first, and he did for us, and it was easy. So
So you mentioned powerlifting. Did you obviously competitive powerlifting? You're doing that as well.
I
Not as
never actually competed. It's just something I wanted to do. I've done bodybuilding shows here and there for a couple years, and yeah, I don't know. I was just getting strong and throwing some weight around. So I just want, there's local stuff in Reno. I was like, yeah, I'll just try it during a weekend. And
just another avenue to be a little bit more marketable. Is that or just
no,
well,
I
I
was
just
just, I was bored. Like, I mean, literally, I was like, before I got signed to Impact, I was just contemplating, like how much longer I was going to wrestle and stuff like that. And it kind of gave me a breath of fresh air. And like, I don't think about like hanging it up, quote unquote. I mean, I don't think I'll ever quit. I'll wrestle locally in Reno when kind of done riding this wave that we got going. And but yeah, like I was just sitting there, like I said, at McDonald's. I was like, like maybe I'll slow down and be in town a little more. And then, I mean, I think we're on TV 8 weeks or something like that is all until I got hurt. And like even those 8 weeks were just so awesome for marketable standpoint for us.
So I've got to ask your tat. You got some cool tattoos. I've seen you in the ring. So how does it work when you go home and you got to go to parent teacher conference with the tattoos? Daddy's a big wrestler.
Oh, my kids, I have twins, and they're only in preschool right now, so I don't have to deal with that
Yeah.
yet. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I Lars from Rancid. There's a documentary on called The Other F Word, and Lars has skunks tattooed on his forehead because it's part of him, and he's like, I just want my kid to like know that like you judge people on their merit, not what they
They
look
look like,
like. And
yeah.
so I've always just kind of adopted that. Like, if you don't like me, I don't care. Like, it sucks that you're that way.
Yeah, because
You
I'm a
know?
teacher right now, and if you walked in, I'd be like, dude, this is the coolest parent we got. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's so at their preschool, everybody's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting, but
So what is some of your favorite, probably your favorite tattoo that you've gotten?
my neck and my throat because of my family. It's my wife and I, and then on each side of my neck's for my son and my daughter. My head's got stuff from my mom and dad and grandpa. I got a little flower from my grandma, and then other than that, it's just kind of random shit. The scum tattoo means a lot to me on my stomach, just because that's
That's your.
kind of what we make our money on, and that's like one of those ones where you're like, yeah, like people look at you a little weird when you're like at the beach or whatever with your family, but
Fuck them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just whatever. Get one life, so might as well cover myself in tattoos. But
So
yeah, like I mean, not to spend forever on it, but like my tattoo artist Shane, like I'm his favorite client because I'm just like, hey, what'd you draw? What do you feel like tattoo? Like I always just want to be covered in tattoos, so I don't have a ton that mean a whole lot. I
you're
just thought
just
it was cool at the
cool.
time. I always said like my head and my neck, I would get meaningful stuff because I wear my family proud and.
So as we come to a wrap here, I want to just real quickly, where can we find you? Obviously, social media and stuff. Obviously, Impact Wrestling, you've got stuff going on there. Where can we find and follow to see when you're coming to a town near anybody?
I use Twitter a lot. What is Thornstowe_scum is my Twitter handle. Adam_Thornstowe is my Instagram. I'm just Adam Thornstowe on Facebook. I think think there's a couple fan pages. I don't run any of them,
Okay.
so I wouldn't go by them.
Check that.
And Rock Legend Scum on Snapchat.
Oh, awesome.
I think that's all I have.
Okay, and then last, real quick, I'm going to two-parter.
Yeah.
Favorite match you've ever had,
Oh, yeah.
and favorite record you would say that is your all-time favorite record.
Out Come the Wolves by Rancid, or The Dwarves Are Young and Good Looking, or like I've had to buy those albums back in the CD player days.
CD, yep, that's
Yeah,
what I
a
bought
ton of
mine.
times, you know. Now it's just on my iPhone. My favorite match is so hard, you know.
Yeah, so-
I don't know, man. Like put one match.
Yeah, hard to. If you would say recently, probably
I
maybe.
really like last night. Actually, Lester and I won the APW tag team titles for the 4th time against Will Hobbs and Marcus Lewis. That match was just so fucking hot from the get go. Like fans were dueling chants, like Reno Scum and Lion Power. So like, I really just live week by week by the moments right now, and I think someday I'll probably sit back and take a real long look at like the stuff I've done. Obviously, the matches with Jeff Cobb. I can't pinpoint. I felt like Jeff and I had a million matches, you know. And I think we only wound up having 5 or 6, but like they all kind of blend together.
Yeah, that's
you
what
know?
that's what I get. That you're in for so long that eventually they just start blending together, and you're like,
King of Indies versus Willie Mack was such a cool moment in the finals. Like, but I'm a real big critic of myself, so like I'll find something completely wrong with every match. So I try not to watch them as much. I watch them obviously to see what I should and shouldn't do, but I like to watch them once and kind of live in that moment, like when they were really good.
Mhm.
The real bad ones I watch more than
Y-
anything because I'm like,
you
why
can
did that suck?
learning
You know?
experience.
But like the ones that are just so hot and like whatever the standard, this is awesome chance or whatever. You're like you feel it out there and you're like it was good, so let's just let it be good.
All right. Anything else, man? Before I let you go here.
No, man, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, I appreciate the time too, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I want to thank Adam Thornstowe for being my guest today. He was a phenomenal talent. He does wrestle in the Reno and Northern California area very often, as well as across the country with Impact Wrestling. So definitely check him out. Keep your eye out for him on Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. He's a phenomenal dude, great talent. So looking forward. Talked a lot about how he got in the business, love for punk rock, some of his killer tattoos, all of that. But now is the portion of the show where I want to do a watch along once again. As I said last week, I stole this idea from Conrad Thompson, who hosts 2 of my favorite wrestling podcasts currently, Something to Wrestle With, Bruce Pritchard, and What Happened When Monday with Tony Schiavone. So I stole this idea, and his watch-alongs with Tony Schiavone are more comical. Here, I'm just going to basically, we're going to do my favorite WrestleMania match of all time. Now, I want to give you a little bit of background before I do this watch along. If you go to your WWE network and get yourself loaded up and go to WrestleMania 25, if you don't have the WWE network, what the hell is wrong with you? Been sitting there watching a bunch of wrestling. You got everything from the wrestling world in there. It's about you're gonna go to WrestleMania 25, and you're gonna pull up WrestleMania 25. I'll give you some time to do that. It's about 2 hours in, so I'll getting myself there as I see the Undertaker coming out. I'm gonna give you a little bit of backstory about why I'm choosing this match. So about 2 hours and 23 seconds in is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Now, I'm going to do this watch along because to me it's the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. And in my personal opinion, it's the greatest match of all time. If you're not a wrestling fan, this would be the match I would give you to start you. I would say sit down and watch this match. If you're not entertained and have goosebumps by the end of it, you need to check your pulse because you're not alive. So, if you haven't done so now, either go to WWE Network and pull up the match, or go on YouTube and try to find it, or wherever you can. If you had the DVD, pull it out, fast forward there. If you're not ready to go, I'd suggest hitting pause and getting yourself ready. So we're going to do a little bit of a watch along here with, to me, the greatest WrestleMania and greatest match of all time, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. So we see them getting ready to stare off. I've watched this match hundreds of times. It's that damn good. This is The Undertaker at his peak, Shawn Michaels at his peak, and damn, it's just that good. And I'm so excited. I was so excited. The build for this match was so good. There's the referee ringing the bell. I was so pumped for this match. It was damn good. And you can just see how good storytellers they are. Like, already, bell's rung. They haven't even locked. Shawn Michaels hasn't moved, taking his eyes off. Okay, they're kind of squaring up there. Here we go. Come on, Taker. I mean, I remember this was when I was in college. Oh, the slap by Shawn. Man, The Undertaker with his no cells and just those fucking fiercest eyes. Badass. Boom. Shawn Michaels with a chop. Boom. Man, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, two of the best of all time, man. And I remember when this match happened in college. Fuck, so good, man. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time because there's going to be some false finishes here as the match. Undertaker going in. And Michaels got him in the corner, pounding away on him. Boom. The rights coming in on Undertaker. Bam, slaps him. Man, Undertaker really selling that. That's a hell of a job right there. Laying against the ropes. Here we go. Irish whip by Shawn Michaels. Reversed by The Undertaker. Michaels underneath. Boom. Undertaker grabs him by the wrist. Boom. Love this when he gives the double hands. Throw Michaels into the... Whoa, shit. Shawn Michaels goes over the top there. Here he comes. Shawn Michaels back in on the second rope there. Gives him the DX crotch chop. Whoop. Over the Undertaker. Oh, this is great. This is great stuff by... Oh, bam. This is how good Shawn Michaels is, man. Shawn Michaels is one of those guys. Dude, he could have a match with a broomstick and it'd be that damn good. Oh, Undertaker throwing him off. There we go. Boom, gonna try it again, and bam, throws Michaels into the corner. Boom, throwing the rights. Best rights in the business right there is the Undertaker. Boom. Man, the Undertaker's the fucking man. Bam, drops him with a right. Anybody that's a wrestling fan knows the Undertaker is the fucking man. Like, you cannot deny that. Oh, Undertaker trying to go for some old school here. And boom, rights again. And Undertaker in his later years is awesome because he really added kind of an MMA brawler style to it. He was very, like, robotic in his early years. But, man, the Undertaker is fucking killer now. Ooh, nice. Bam, right again. Throwing it around. Just back and forth, man. Like, they haven't done a lot so far in this match, but... And it just shows you how good at storytelling they are. Oh, he does the old Ric Flair thing. Comes out. Ooh, atomic drop. Bam. Actually, backdrop. My bad. Should get my wrestling moves right. Yeah, The Undertaker, man. He's one of my dream guys, man. I know next year at WrestleMania, if he has a meet and greet at Access, I'm going to do it. By the way, help me get to WrestleMania. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com, Rockin' Wrestling Podcast. Buy yourself a t-shirt. Oh. Press slam by The Undertaker. Hold Michaels up. Bam. Damn, and he goes. Oh, and elbow drop by Taker. Man, Undertaker. Bam. 2. Kick out. Man, this match is just... It's so different, too, doing these watch-alongs. Like, you don't hear the crowd because the volume's down. Obviously, as I'm recording, you can't... I don't want to have the echo volume coming through the mics. But it's totally different, like, to watch a match like this with the volume off. Like... this to me is the greatest match of all time, and you can really tell how good a match is when the volume's off because you can't hear the crowd reaction. Because a lot of what you base on it at home too is how the crowd reacts, but no crowd reaction here. Oh, Undertaker going for some old school, man. Still one of the most athletic fucking things in the world to walk the top rope at 6'10", 328. Ridiculous, man. You ain't gonna find no NBA center that's gonna do that. Only one man in the world can do that, The Undertaker. And, went for the big boot. Got hung up on the top rope. Shawn Michaels moved out of the way. Going and, smart move by Shawn right there. Try to take the big man down with, target his leg and target his knee. And, boom, chopped at the knee again, man. It's like a big tree. Chop it down to size. Fucking love it. Michaels, Undertaker, man. This is such great storytelling already, man. Ooh, nice kick to the face by Shawn Michaels. Two of the best in the biz ever right here. HBK and The Undertaker. You can tell, man, just how good these guys are working. Look, that's what's missing from some of wrestling today, man. Storytelling. Like, look at Shawn's already just working away at that leg for The Undertaker. Really. Oh, The Undertaker's going to try to stop it. Boom. Shot to the gut. Shot to the gut. Oh, look at what. Boom. Going for like an Indian figure four leg lock right here. A little different type right there. See, that's just smart storytelling right there. You got a man that's 6'10", 328, so you got to try to, take him down somehow. It'd be like a real fight. A 6'10" guy walked up to me, dude, I'm going to chop at his legs, get that dude to the ground, make it a fair fight. It's so great about Taker and Michaels when they work together. Storytelling is ridiculously good. I'm trying to jock for position there. Boom, right by Shawn Michaels. 1, 2, and The Undertaker kicks out. So I do try to do good old JR. Shawn Michaels. And he's still working that submission, man. Really working it, man. I haven't watched this match in a long time. I've watched it numerous times, so I know kind of what's going to happen here. But I forgot about the submission that Michaels worked there. Boom, rights by The Undertaker to get out of it. Look at that. Ooh. Kind of both men down right now, trying to come back. Undertaker doing a good job there. Probably hurting. Bam. Michaels again at the left leg. Really just working the shit out of that thing, man. That's how you know you're telling a good story right there. Like, that's old school wrestling right there. Work the body part. Oh, Taker picks up Michaels. Trying to look, and even The Undertaker sells it by limping with him. Throws him into the corner there. That's good job. Boom, right? Kicking him in the stomach. Bam, rights to the face by The Undertaker. Boom! Another, dude, The Undertaker lays some fucking haymakers, dude. Makes it look like it's... Bam! Dude, I would not want to be in that. Dude, The Undertaker throwing some haymakers, dude. He would knock your ass out. And boom! Here he comes. Bam! The Undertaker, man. This is why he's probably the greatest character ever in pro wrestling history, man. Just boom again. Look at that, just running in the corner. Oh, looking like trying to go for the tombstone. Oh, nope, snake eyes. Boom. Here he comes, running with the big boot. I always love that sequence when he does it. The snake eyes in the big boot. Fucking awesome. Oh, and going for a leg drop. Little shades of Hulk Hogan there. Ooh. So, Undertaker really working on Michaels now. I really love the back and forth of this. Oh, already going for it. Going for the choke slam. Michaels is down. Better pay attention. The Undertaker's behind him going for the choke slam. Here he goes. Michaels gets up. Oh, he's got Michaels by the throat. Oh. Michaels into a crossface there. Oh, really yanking on it, too. That's something you don't see Shawn Michaels using in a lot of matches, is a crippler crossface there, or the S-lock, if I'm being politically correct, since we don't necessarily want to talk about Chris Benoit. But damn, really cinching it in here. You can kind of see there that he's not got it all the way locked in like a normal crossface. Taker would be laid down flat on the mat. But still, kind of a modified version of a crossface. Nice. Working it. Oh, Taker tries to roll him over. Ref 1, 2. Oh, Michaels rolls back over. You can see there. Michaels still working the crossface. Still working it. Ooh, nice. You can see, man. Old school wrestling, Even though the match is from 2009, it's two of the old school veterans right here knowing how to work. Oh, now he's got the full crossface locked in right there. You can see Undertaker trying to stand up with him. Try to pick up Michaels. Standing up. Oh. You got there, get there. And, picks him up for, bam, a side slam. Nice. Taker goes for the cover again. 1, 2, kick out by Shawn. Undertaker, you can already see they do a good storytelling. He's getting frustrated because Shawn Michaels will not stay down. Love it. Love that aspect of it. Great storytelling right there, because that's going to come to play later in the match. Boom, rights again by The Undertaker to Shawn Michaels. Boom! Slap back by Shawn Michaels. Bam! Undertaker laying in those fucking haymakers. Going, boom. Oh, Undertaker stood right up. Boom. Whoa, Michaels with the slaps again. Ooh, Michaels with another slap. Another slap. Taker, another slap. Ooh. Irish whip by Shawn Michaels. Undertaker reverses. Boom, flying forearm by Shawn Michaels. Damn. Man, hell of a match already. Remember, this is part of the Undertaker streak. So I think at this point he was what, 17-0? Yeah, he was 17-0. Never lost at a Mania. I mean, that's still one of the worst decisions ever made. Undertaker should have never lost at WrestleMania. Should still be undefeated, man. I was so fucking pissed when Brock ended that at 30. Bam! Atomic drop by Shawn Michaels to Undertaker. Boom. And another atomic drop by Shawn Michaels. A slap to the chest. Oh, there we go. Bam! Clothesline by Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. And I'm just a sexy boy. One of those great entrance musics, man. This is also, by the why I picked the Undertaker's entrance music as my intro music on the podcast today. I knew I'd be doing this watch along and do the Undertaker's entrance music. It's like some of the greatest of all time. Shawn Michaels trying to go up for now. Top elbow drop, comes down. Boom! Undertaker catches him in what looks like to be a choke slam. And he goes up, and Michaels reverses. Sweet! Oh, went for the sweet chin music, but Taker tried to reverse it. Oh, figure four. Oh, Hell's Gate. Undertaker's got Michaels in Hell's Gate. He's got him in Hell's Gate. Dude, this is one of those badass submissions. He got him in Hell's Gate, man. Oh, God. Michaels is trying to get out. Oh, foot on the rope. Rope breaks. Got to break the hold. Got to break the hold there. Woo, man, that was... I loved that submission hold. I wish, he started using it right around this time, like 2008, 2009. Hell's Gate submission. It's like a triangle choke. Badass move, dude. You ever get in a fight, man, put that shit on somebody and have them tap out real quick. Oh, so here we go. Now they're out to the outside. This is like one of the most famous WrestleMania spots ever, dude. Taker eats it hard on this. But Michael's trying to get away, and boom, Taker slams his head into the steel ring steps there at ringside. Referee trying to get him back into the ring here. Remember, it's not a no DQ match. Like, I think there was one the next year at 26 was no DQ. Oh, this is a great spot right here. Look, The Undertaker does this phenomenal. First, he's going to, boom, kick him in the face at the ring apron. And then I think he gets up on the ring apron and does like a fat, big-ass leg drop. Dude, this is still one of the best damn things ever. Here we go. Undertaker looking for a leg drop. Oh, and Michaels moves. I forgot. Ooh. Nah. The outside of the ring apron is the hardest part, so that couldn't have felt good to hit on that. I can tell you that much. Ooh. You can tell Taker doing a good job. Here comes Michaels. Boom. Baseball slide to Taker. And Taker is laid out on the ground. Michaels going to try to recover here, give himself a little rest break as he's climbing to the top rope here. About to see a nice little, I believe, some danger in the match now. That's what I like. A little high spot. Oh, Michaels goes to the top. Here he goes. Oh, almost slips and falls. And a and the Undertaker moves out of the way. Michaels hits the outside of the ring hard there. And Undertaker and Michaels both outside right now. Referee trying to get him back in. You could tell they are both exhausted to this point. Man, such a damn good match, dude. Even with the volume off right now. Appreciate any of those guys, anybody that's listening out here doing the watch along with me. Give me some feedback on some matches you want to do a watch along with, or any feedback I could, you want to hear me talk about during a match. Undertaker's inside the ring now, trying to recover. By the way, I forgot to mention this earlier in the podcast, but if you go to iTunes and give myself a little review, give it a review, I will hook you up with a free T-shirt. I'll mention that again at the end of the podcast. But go to iTunes and give it a review, and I will hook you up with a free T-shirt. courtesy of ProWrestlingTees.com. Oh, Michaels holding the referee now, trying to hold the referee. Undertaker back to his feet in the ring. Michaels holding the referee. Cameraman's right there. All this is, he's going to go to the top, and he pulls the camera. Boom! Hits the cameraman right there. For those of you that don't know, a little side note, the cameraman there is, I believe his name is Sim Snuka. It's Jimmy Superfly Snuka's son. He was in the WWE for a little bit. The little backstory behind the scenes action there behind this WrestleMania match. Man, that's a crazy spot. Now you're both down, the ref's down, the cameraman's down. Looked like a tornado came through the match right there. A little demolition derby style right there. So, they're both trying to get back up there. As you can see, the ref down, Michaels down, Taker down, cameraman down. Unbelievable. Going to see a replay here. Right here, you see a better angle of it. Undertaker going for his famous dive, pulls it in. Boom! You can see that Snuka was a little far. Undertaker tried it, goes for the dive, and Michaels pulls it. Boom! Surprised Undertaker didn't get a fat concussion here. Hitting the ground right there like he did. Michaels trying to grab himself up and get back into the ring. Referee as well. But, man, that's a crazy spot. See the 6'10", 328-pound guy fly through the air like that and come down on the dome. Whew. Surprised the man was definitely not concussed. And Michaels in the ring now. We're waiting for the referee. As you can see, Michaels knows that if he can beat The Undertaker by countout, that counts as a victory and would end the streak. Right from about 2005 through till the streak ended in 2014, all the matches, Undertaker's WrestleMania matches, were about ending The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak. It should still be, it should be 24-0 or whatever it is now. It should be, got ended at 21-1 by Brock Lesnar, but right here they're gonna show the replay again. Michaels telling the referee to count it, man, because he knows if he wins by countout, it doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win, you would end the streak here. I remember watching this, man, 2009. I was on the edge of my seat, dude. I swore to, it was the closest match that The Undertaker had come to losing at this point. The other matches with like Edge and Batista, that they were doing the streak thing. You kind of knew The Undertaker was going to win, but this was one that was like, well, dude, Shawn's a veteran like that, and they could really give it to Shawn Michaels. So here he is. Woo! Trying to, referee's counting. Boom, I think he's at 4 or 5 now. You can see Shawn's expression on his face, like knows that if Undertaker gets counted out, he wins the match. So you can see there, Undertaker, boom, drops to his knees, man. Get in the ring. Crowd's trying to cheer on The Undertaker. Referee's counting. Undertaker grabs the ring apron. Close. He's close. He falls on his butt. Is he going to get counted out? And he rolls back into the ring. And Shawn Michaels knows he missed an opportunity there. Unbelievable. Man, the storytelling between these two guys, the chemistry between these two guys, unbelievable. And here we go. Michaels knows he's got to finish The Undertaker off in some fashion or another. Oh, man. Here we go. Sweet chin music. Tuning up the band. Yeah, speaking of tuning up the band, I really hate that Dolph Ziggler does the same thing as Shawn Michaels now. That's a Shawn Michaels thing. You need to leave it to Dolph. No, Dolph needs to leave it to Shawn, my bad. Here he comes, going for it. Undertaker ducks out. Catches him with a choke slam. Up he goes! But The Undertaker wasting extra time. Here we go. 1, 2. And Shawn kicks out. Woo-wee! Here comes the high action of the match right here. Woo. Undertaker getting that look on his face like, what do I got to do to beat this guy? Damn. Undertaker trying to help himself up using the ring ropes. Shawn Michaels still down from that big time choke slam right there. Undertaker getting up. Whew. There we go. Whips the hair back. Undertaker looking at what do I got to do next to defeat this guy. As he pulls Shawn Michaels up, gonna go for the tombstone. Oh, Shawn reverses it. Boo! Oh, catches Sweet Chin Music. Oh, going for another choke slam. Oh, Sweet Chin Music. But Shawn is down 2, and he's wasting time. Wasting valuable time to make that cover. But he hit Taker with the Sweet Chin Music, man. That was one of those great finishers. You could hit it out of anywhere. And boom. So good. Shawn crawls. Look at the storytelling. 1, 2. Taker kicks out, gets the right shoulder off the mat. And it really could just tell, like, the two of these guys are unbelievable talents. It's why they're two of the greatest ever, man. It's why, to me, it's the greatest match ever. I could sit here and watch this match all day long. Like I said, if you're not a wrestling fan, or you wrestling fans know people that aren't wrestling fans, I tell them, sit them down and have them watch this match. Like, they'll become hooked, or they have to at least say they are entertained. I recommend doing it with the volume, not, but right now for the watch along purpose, you don't need the volume. You can listen to my beautiful, beautiful voice, do some slide commentary. Obviously, I'm no JR or Michael Cole or Corey Graves, but Undertaker looking to catch Shawn with the chokeslam again. Boom, kicks him. Going for the last ride, pulling out all the stops from his repertoire. Gets him up. Shawn trying to reverse for Schoolboy. Pulls him back up. Boom, kicks him again. Gonna try the last ride again. And up he goes. Last ride. 1, 2. Kick out. Damn. Undertaker getting frustrated now. What does he got to do to beat Shawn Michaels? Man. The resilience of the Heartbreak Kid, man. That's what always made him such a great character. But yeah, look at this replay on the last ride. He really gets him up there for that last ride powerbomb, and boom, that does not gotta feel good. Dude, Undertaker's 6'10", and he hikes you up there. You're probably 7 feet in the air coming down with some serious velocity there. That cannot be good. I can tell you that much. And here we go. The Undertaker going to the top rope. Not something you see the Undertaker do every day, but it's WrestleMania, man. Got to pull out all the stops. When the Undertaker went to the top rope, it's a rare occasion here. He's up there. There he goes. What's he gonna try? He's gonna try an elbow. I think he tries an elbow here, and he misses. Damn, dude, you don't see the Undertaker try a top rope elbow drop every day. That's why this match is the greatest match of all time. Oh man, it's phenomenal stuff right there. I remember, dude, I at this point in the match, I remember watching it and just thinking, fuck, dude, the Undertaker might lose. And boom. You just don't see the Undertaker doing top rope elbow drops every single day. Shit, I don't think this year at Mania, when he faces Cena, we're gonna see the Undertaker doing any top rope elbow drops. The Undertaker trying to get back to his feet. Shawn Michaels trying to get back to his feet at the same time. Here we go. Ooh. And Michaels going. Tries to throw him over the top rope. And Shawn Michaels is going to pull himself back over. The Undertaker's going to catch him he's got him in the tomb. Catch him in the tombstone. Catch him in the tombstone. Michaels fighting. Tombstone pile driver. And here he goes. All right. Rest in peace, HBK. 1, 2, and Michaels kicks out again. This is the shot right here, the famous look. The Undertaker's like, what the hell do I have to do to beat this guy? The look and expression of the Undertaker says it all in this match right here. Like, he grabs him off the top rope. What have I got to do? Boom! Tombstone pile driver. At this point, I think throughout WWE history, anytime the Undertaker did the arms across the chest, nobody had kicked out of it to that point. So that was why it was so rare. Like, Shawn Michaels, I think, was like one of the first that I remember watching ever seeing the kick out of the Undertaker's tombstone like that. Like, you didn't see that very often. So the Undertaker getting back up to his feet again, wondering, what the hell do I have to do to beat this guy? Man. Just like, damn, dude, what do you got to do? Oh, pulling the straps down. Undertaker means business now. Here we go. Signaling for the tombstone, as the great Gorilla Monsoon would say, Tombstone City! And here he goes. He's going to pick up Shawn for the tombstone for a second at this point in the match. Tombstone piledriver. Try to finish him off once and for all. Pulling up Shawn Michaels' limp body. Shawn, oh, here he comes. And, oh, Shawn reverses it. Boom, into a DDT. Man, the reversals in this match are ridiculous. It's one of the greatest match in WrestleMania history and the greatest match of all time, in my opinion. I dare someone to fight. Tell me otherwise. And boom. Man. Both men down now. Shawn crawling his way towards Undertaker, knowing gotta beat him by a pinfall submission to end the streak. Wow. What a back and forth match this is. And Shawn using the bottom rope to get himself up. I tell you, man, it's why it's the greatest match ever. Even with the volume off, it's still just back and forth. Gives me a new whole appreciation doing these watch-alongs with the volume off. One, you don't hear Michael Cole say vintage every other word. But two, it just gives you a better appreciation of how great of entertainers and athletes these guys are. Shawn climbing to the top rope there. Undertaker laying flat. Looks like Shawn's going for that big elbow drop that always sets up sweet chin music. And here he comes. The crowd's getting ready to stand. Boom! He nails the elbow drop off the top rope. But he's wasting time. He needs to make the cover. He needs to make the cover if he wants to end the streak right here. You can see a collective gasp in the arena or stadium at this time when Shawn went to hit that. Now he's getting to the corner. He's lining up for sweet chin music. Trying to end the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. Here we go. Undertaker getting back up. Signaling, tuning up the band. Man, I still walk around the house and do tuning up the band before I pretend to sweet chin music my girlfriend in the face. I don't really do that. Kids, if you're listening, I'm a trained professional. I know what I'm doing. Nope. Undertaker is up. Boom! It gets hit with sweet chin music, but Shawn is wasting time once again as it took all of his energy. He's crawling towards Undertaker. Here he goes. The referee 1, 2, and at 2 3/4, the Undertaker kicks out, man. Now it's a reversal. Shawn's got that look on his face like, son of a bitch. What do I got to do to beat this guy, man? This is why these two are two of the best ever, man. The storytelling between these two is phenomenal. Man, you can tell they're both just bodies are beaten down. Undertaker's got the look on his face like, what do I got to do to beat this guy? Shawn Michaels has the look on his face. What do I got to do to beat this guy? Both of them, man, just phenomenal match. Oh, Undertaker trying to get to his feet. Shawn Michaels trying to get to his feet. Undertaker's not even sure where Shawn is. They're using each other to get each other back up on their feet. Man, real fight there. Hands in the face. They're both back up now. Oh, a slap by Shawn Michaels. A big right hook by The Undertaker. Shawn down to one knee. A slap by Shawn Michaels. Undertaker trying to get those fists up. Boom. Another right hook. Another hook by Michaels this time. The Undertaker goes down. Boom. Just back and forth. Just what it would be like if you were in a 30-minute fight there. Just tired. Throwing everything you got. Slap again by Michaels. Another slap by Shawn Michaels. Getting the Undertaker on the real. Big boot by Undertaker. What a sell by Shawn Michaels. Woo. Turned him inside out. And the Undertaker's like, damn, what do I got to do to beat this guy? Two of the all-time greats. WrestleMania 25. Man. Oh, going for the tombstone again. Oh, Michaels is fighting out. Ooh, slaps him. Another slap to the Undertaker. Another slap. Man, Michaels is laying those slaps. I forgot how much he slapped in this match. Ooh. Throw Irish whips Shawn into the corner. Boom. Shawn gives him a right boot to the face. They're both men are down now. Shawn in the corner. Undertaker laying flat in the mat there. Woo-wee. This is professional wrestling at its finest right here. Doesn't get any better than this. If you ain't got goosebumps, half a chub, you ain't alive, my friend. Ooh. There he goes. Michaels getting himself back up in the corner there. Here it comes. Michaels climbing to the top. Slowly looks like he's going to go for a moonsault. As he goes for the Undertaker. Catches him. Tombstone pile driver. And here it comes. 1, 2, 3. And that's it. And the Undertaker wins the match. And his WrestleMania streak stays intact. Hallelujah, brother. All right. 17-0. The Undertaker stays undefeated at WrestleMania. Love doing these watch-alongs with you guys. Hopefully you partake in it and get the WWE network or on YouTube and watch the match along with me. And as I watch it, give me any feedback you want. But once again, I want to thank Adam Thornstowe for being my guest today. Definitely go check him out. Follow him up on his social media. See when he's coming to a town near you to wrestle. Make sure you follow me on social media, on Twitter. The Twitter handle is Nick's R&W Podcast. Remember the goal, we want to get over 1,000 followers for the podcast on Twitter before WrestleMania ends next Sunday night, and I'll post a bonus episode or some bonus content on the YouTube channel. Nick's Rock and Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, as well as you can find it on YouTube. The Rock and Wrestling Podcast at gmail.com. I want to thank you guys once again for all the support. It's great to hear all the feedback. And make sure you follow on social media. Help a brother out. Go buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/podcast, Rock and Wrestling Podcast. And finally, as you heard during the watch-along portion, if you give me a review on iTunes, I see that you gave me a review on iTunes of the podcast, I will personally give you a free t-shirt. That's right. I'll say it one more time. Give me a review on iTunes, and I will give you a free t-shirt. Rock and Wrestling Podcast. Once I see that a person or people have given me a review, I will direct message you or direct message me through the email or my Twitter and let me know that you did so. Give me your information and mailing, and I will get you your free Rock and Wrestling Podcast t-shirt. That's all for this week. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, will be the WrestleMania 34 preview show. I thank you for all listening again. Peace out.